What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
Good. Maybe the summer progress of your group that you've seen and kind of what you wanted this group to achieve after spring ball to get ready for fall here.
But spring was productive. I think we improved in some areas that I wanted us to improve in, specifically getting the young guys caught up, and obviously with Mark and really even Jordan. Obviously Jordan just finished his freshman year, but for both of them it's their first off season. So the main thing I was really focused on for them is for them to really transform their bodies, which I felt like they did during the spring, and then really carried it over into the summer, focused on the conditioning part, and then from the football fundamental piece, really just continue to improvise or improve on our pass protection technique, our hand placement on our feet. I always feel like that's an area of growth, especially because a lot of these guys in high school were just really asked to run the ball. So really always emphasizing that. Made some strides there, so obviously looking to get better. And then just the overall knowledge of the game. I think we've grown a lot in the last year. Really this next step, really truly understanding the ins and outs of everything that the defense is doing. We know what we're doing, but not really understanding the ins and outs of what the defense is doing, so we can play faster.
In particular with Mark and Jordan, completely just different skill sets. But I'm curious, as a coach, you have them standards that you have that you want them both to achieve, but how much do you either coach them differently, or because they do have different styles, they can excel in different ways? How much, what's that kind of messaging from you as a coach?
I mean, I think overall the standard of the room is the standard. Like, that doesn't change for anybody. I think where, in general, not even just with Mark and Jordan, but where it changes from player to player is just their experience, really. Like, I can have more in-depth conversation about some stuff with the older guys compared to the younger guys. Just, they can understand it and won't paralyze them. If you did it with a new guy, young guy, you may slow them down, right? That's where it may vary, but in terms of like how you coach them, what you expect from them, what you demand from them, that stuff doesn't change. They're both super talented. So is Chamar, so is the rest of the room, right? Really holding every single one of them to that same standard to be able to perform at a high level. This is Miami, this is the U. The running back tradition here has been rich. They got to be able to live up to that. They got to show up every single day. They got to improve every single day. They got to hold each other accountable every single day. That part doesn't change. Yes, their skill sets are different in the sense that Mark is 225 and Jordan is 205, but they can both do the exact same thing.
What's a skill that impresses you with Brown so far since you've had him on campus?
Oh, obviously haven't really seen him play football in person, but he's very powerful. That's really what stands out. Some of the PLPs and the weightlifting sessions, you can just see the explosiveness that comes from him. I'm excited to really see him actually put pads on and play ball, but that's really the biggest thing I've noticed so far.
Thanks.
Starting physically, you touched on physical changes with Mark, and he says he feels great. Just start with him and kind of where you think he's at physically, and kind of what you're hoping to see from him in fall camp here.
Yeah, I think really, like Coach Cristobal alluded to, when he was in Charlotte, Mark got cleared about a week before Florida, so really didn't have an off season, and those off seasons are crucial for any student athlete, just especially for young guys coming in, to really be able to put on the right body mass, the right body weight, to transform some of the body fat into muscle, lean muscle mass. I think from him being able to go through all of that from January all the way up until now, I think the biggest area where you'll notice it is just his overall confidence. Like, I think Mark would probably tell you he finally feels back to himself. And that's where I'm really excited for him, because he's really grown from that standpoint of being able to get his body back right. He feels good, he looks good, he's running well. Obviously now he's got to go do it in practice and carry it over onto the field. But I know from just having played, when your body feels good, you feel good mentally, and you can really tell he's kind of back to his norm.
And everything, obviously, that he went through last year too. With Jordan, he said, to get it back to gain weight, he said he's put on weight, feels good about it, but the key for backs to gain weight and not lose what they've had, how important is that physically? And then how do you think he looks at 205 right now?
Oh, I think he looks great at 205. I'm really always conscious, and I'm always speaking with the strength conditioning staff and the sports science staff about the weights. It's you have to be very careful to always just say a running back should be this weight. It's all about what their body can carry so that they don't lose those physical attributes they have, their speed, their quickness, all of those things. With that being said, it is uber important to me. I'm really worried about what they're eating, how they're eating it, how fast they're putting on the weight. I think when Jordan came in last year, it was like 191. For me just to say, hey, by the end of the summer, you need to be at 205, 15 pounds in 3 months, it's not good for him, right? You constantly want to just build that on. And also what happens is when you build it on consistently, week by week, when you get to your goal weight, it's easier to maintain it. You're not fluctuating so crazy, maybe 2-3 pounds here or there, which I think is normal. But I think people that put it on too fast hurt themselves and the ability to move the way they want to move. And it also hurts them that their weight just keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down. But he's done a great job in the offseason as well, just like Mark has, of really transforming his body and taking that next step. And excited to see what camp does for him.
Yeah, one of the first answers you gave, either first or second, you talked about all the other things that go with being a running back. Can you explain about that, what you're expecting from your group, what you need them to do? It's not just about taking handoffs and getting, it's a lot to that position, especially at the college level compared to high school.
Yeah, it's a lot. Listen, at the end of the day, like if you can't pass pro, you can't play here. That's the end of the day. Like that's what it is. And for the guys to be able to get on the field, that's number one. You are here and you got here because you were an incredible runner of the football while you were in high school. That is why you got to college. Now the next step in that is developing your ability to protect the quarterback, your ability to catch out of the backfield, be a threat out of the backfield, and putting all that together. And then, at the end of the day, the name of the game is making explosive plays. You got to be able to create on your own. So when you have those one-on-one matchups, you got to win them more often than not. It doesn't mean that every single time you're going to juke a defender out of his shoes. I mean, if you got some space and it's blocked for 5 yards, I need more than 5 yards. And they understand that is the standard. They'll hold themselves to that too, that it is our job to make explosive plays with the ball in our hands. It's our job to protect the team by how we carry the ball. It's our job to be perfect in pass pro. My fundamentals may not be perfect, but the quarterback better never, ever be compromised in the pocket because of us. And I got to understand my overall assignments and what I'm doing, where I'm supposed to align, what my footwork is, what my read is, where are my eyes supposed to be. All of those are all encompassing. And if you can't do all three of those things, you really can't play for me. And then at the really core foundation of all of that is their effort, their attitude, and their toughness, right? Like, we call it eat in our room, but that right there is a component that's controlled by you as the individual, and your effort's got to be perfect every time. You have to have a great attitude, and you got to have the mental toughness to do the things right all the time, even when you don't feel like it. And if you can have all of those things together, that's really what it takes to play here, in my opinion.
Yeah, you say that. I feel like that has to be something you try to identify at the recruiting process. I'm sure all coaches, because of everything, expect. Flip it, just everything you guys were able to do as an offense, passing the ball. I know Coach Dawson, Coach Cristobal continue to stress how well you guys ran the ball, or that you guys were able to produce at that, again, because of how well you guys passed it. How important is your group to this offense? The point that, to be able to, you got to be able to run, we got to be able to run the ball, and sharing that with your guys, that it is important, obviously.
Yeah, listen, first of all, football, it takes 11 guys on the field going in the same direction, right? Like every position group, I imagine, our guys want to have the mindset that it's going to be on us. If we lose, it's because of us. We didn't do enough. If we win, we know we did our part, deflect praise, give praise to everybody else. But at the end of the day, like, everyone has to do their part, right? The running backs are no more important than the O-line is, than the tight ends are, than the receivers are, certainly not more than the quarterback. But understand that they are all a piece of the puzzle, and we all have to do our part within the system of the offense, within the play that's being called to do it. Sometimes that means we run the ball 40 times a game. Sometimes it means that the quarterback is cooking and we only run the ball 10 times a game. But whatever you're being asked to do, you have to do it at a high level, right? And your value, your importance to what we do is based on you doing your job that you're being asked to do at a very high and efficient clip every single time.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.